Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining our Facebook Live today. I am excited to have Tenielle Williams, who is a business coach based in Queensland, joining us. Welcome, Tenielle.
Thank you for having me.
So to start with, Tenielle, I'd just like you to tell us a little bit about your business, what you do, and how long you've been operating.
Sure. Well, I actually started in the animal training industry, so working with behavior, but for other creatures. And I've been running my dog training business and also training zoo animals for 11 years. But about 6 years ago, this evolved into business coaching for other animal trainers. And now I also help other business owners to create a more flexible lifestyle business, making more money, but spending less time.
Fantastic. And how did you learn about Profit First? Did you read the book or somebody told you about it, or how did that come about?
I heard about the book somewhere online, I think through another online entrepreneur. It was quite a while ago now, so I'm not sure exactly who that was, but a lot of people were talking about it. And I read the book and I loved the concepts and thought, yeah, that's something that I can see how that would help my business and I want to implement that.
Fantastic. And how did you go about implementing Profit First? Did you do it yourself? Did you work with somebody? What did you do?
So after I read the book, I started to gradually make some changes to my accounts and the way that I manage my money, but I kept putting off implementing the full system properly. And I got to the point I thought, okay, I'm not getting this done quite how I want to get it done. So I'm going to get some help. And I went on the Profit First website and I found an amazing Profit First accountant, Phil Shepherd, and he helped me get it all set up. He helped me to determine the best percentage allocations for my business and goals. And then I went to the bank and opened the new accounts that I needed. And from there, I started allocating the percentages, which I do every week because I really love doing it.
And how long ago was that, Tennille?
That was about 4 or 5 years ago since I first started using it.
And do you use that across all your businesses or just one of them?
Yeah, definitely all of it. And Profit First helped right away immensely. Within a year of starting it, I had a large tax bill come in, and I was so relieved to already have the money ready to go to pay it, even though I had hoped I could keep some of it.
Yeah, that's fantastic to hear, because that's one of the stresses that we often hear from people is that, it's a lot of stress when you're doing that tax return. It's like, have I made a profit? Do I need to pay tax and all that? And to have that money readily available is such a relief.
Definitely.
Did Profit First change the way that you think about money and your business?
Yeah, for sure. I've done a lot of money mindset work as well. I really love it. But using this system changed the way that I manage money, obviously in my business, but even in my personal life too. And it highlights the importance of knowing how much money is needed for my goals and having a plan to cover that. And it also has made me more aware of focusing on growing the profit in the business and rewarding myself regularly and not overspending money that needs to be allocated to other things.
Fantastic. And you've ticked off so many of the Profit First principles there. So having that allocated money and not overspending and having that money set aside for a specific purpose. And you also mentioned that the way you think about it in your personal life. So have you implemented a Profit First for your personal finances?
I would say I did a more simplified version, probably close to along the lines of the Barefoot Investor. So just allocating things to different accounts to make sure everything's covered and using percentage amounts rather than having to count things dollar for dollar in a budget, because that's not really my style.
It does make it much easier with the percentages, doesn't it? And it works it out for you. Do you have like a spreadsheet or something like that you work out the percentages each week when you do your allocations?
So I do for the business,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just the percentages that Phil helped me determine to set up, and we check on that every quarter and make sure everything is running smoothly and we have enough allocated to the different areas. And then I have a spreadsheet that I'll put in the total amount in my income account and it'll tell me automatically how much to put into each of my other accounts.
Fantastic. And do you find that those percentages have changed much over the years?
A little. One of the tweaks that we made was setting up a separate account for marketing, because that was one of my larger expenses and it was coming out of the operating expenses account. And we decided that it would be better to have its own account and make sure that we set aside money specifically for that purpose. So that was one of the changes that we made in the last year or two. We've slightly tweaked a couple of the other percentages as we've gone along, but nothing else major.
Fantastic. We do have a saying at Profit First that like, if in doubt, create an account. So often some people, I think one of the Profit First professionals has something like 15 separate accounts for all sorts of different expenses. So it's a really good idea to have an account with that specific purpose in mind, and if it's for marketing or wherever it might be for to meet the goals of your business. Did you encounter any challenges when you were implementing Profit First?
A little. Once, like, I found it a little bit of a hassle to go and set up the accounts because I had to go physically into the bank and that. But once that was complete, it was really easy to maintain. The main other challenge was mindset related. So in the beginning, I didn't like seeing my lump sum of money divided up into smaller amounts, and setting aside tax and expenses made me feel like I was missing out on it and that I wish I could just keep it and spend all that money for myself. But as I realized, some of that money already belongs to the business and some already belongs to the tax man, and it's best to be prepared. So I love it now.
Fantastic. Did you have any situations where you didn't have enough money at the beginning to cover an expense and you had to decide what to do?
Maybe in the very beginning, I would sometimes shuffle things around a little bit, but nothing major.
Fantastic. And what has been the best thing that has happened to you in your business since implementing Profit First?
Well, profits have increased and I love getting the profit bonus every quarter. So that's a highlight. And I think the fact that we mentioned earlier, removing that stress and the relief of having the tax amount covered and set aside, ready to go, so I don't have to have any debts with the ATO.
Fantastic. Have you got a specific celebration that you have done that you'd like to share with us?
Usually it's travel. So my profit account has often gone towards having a weekend away with my husband or going towards bigger holidays. And we've also used it to help build our house because we built a house 2 years ago. So it's been really useful. Helped us build a pool as well. So it's been really good, fun money.
Fantastic. That's so great to hear. And if you have a tip or some advice for other business owners that may be watching this Facebook Live and they're considering implementing Profit First, what would be your advice or your tip for them?
My biggest tip would be that when you run a business, it's your job to be a nurturing carer to your money, and paying attention to your money and caring for it helps it to grow. So don't be afraid to look at it. You've got to look at it and track it and nurture it if you want it to grow. So stop putting it off. And if you've been thinking about implementing the system, go and get it sorted ASAP. And it helps you to make more money, helps you to be prepared to pay your taxes, and it's so worth doing.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Tenielle, for joining us today and sharing your experience about Profit First and how it's helped you to grow your business. And if you'd like to join us for our next Facebook Live, we look forward to seeing you again next month. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.